Yeah. Turn the mic up. Draft boys ready. Let's go. While they chase headlines, he's digging through the tape. Third string grind, every snap, every rep, everybody talking first round, same names again. Danny in the shadows, finding value in the 10. Stopwatch ticking, notebooks full of ink. Missed by the cameras, but he sees what you think you didn't see. From small schools to backups with a chance. If there's a sleeper on the board, he already made the call in advance. Danny Savage, draft guru, breaking down the board like a pro really do. Late round legends, yeah, he's standing on the truth. Day 3, Danny turning pigs into proof. When the lights fade out and the crowd goes home, that's when the future gets quietly grown. 7th round undrafted dreams, you can connect all the dots in between the schemes. Traits over hype, the film over fame. If the league missed it, he's calling the name. Every year, gotta steal, every class got a few. When they go and show brand, Danny says, watch this dude. Danny Savage, draft guru. If it's sitting on the board, he's feeling it too. From the war room to the long shot crew. Day 3, Danny, yeah, the legends coming through. Yeah. This is Danny Savage, draft guru. Let's go. Let's get into it. This is Danny Savage, draft guru. Let's get into it.
Boom. Greetings from YouTubeville. This is Danny Savage, draft guru. If you like the video, subscribe, give it a like, hit the hyper button. Also, don't forget to click on notifications so you know when I go live. I always wear glasses for my videos because these LED lights are brutal on the eyes, but I also wear glasses because I roll my eyes so much. And throughout my life, it's gotten me like not in trouble, but just people get like a bad opinion of me, or like they think like, bro, Coleman Electra could walk through the door right now. It's like, hey, hon, and I'd roll my eyes. I just roll my eyes a lot. But I've noticed like in some of my jobs in my career in my life when I was especially younger and there were superiors, and I'd roll my eyes, and they would lose their shit, bro. They would go. And then another good superior said, yo, that's Danny. You can give him the best car, the best lunch hour, the best everything, and he's still going to roll his eyes. That's him. That's what he does. So I just explained it to you. So we're going to be talking about running backs today. I put out 20. I'll be putting out about 10 to 15 more. I got 2 HBCU kids in my 20. Let's see how many other guys got some HBCU kids in their top 20 running backs. I also got 2 Christmas gifts. I feel, and I kind of feel dirty even putting them in here at their position because I think there's better players. But hey, I'll throw a dart. What's the worst can happen? I'm wrong. I'm mostly right than wrong when it comes to the draft. All right, we're going to go 20 down to 1. 20. Took my glasses off too. It's got a little bit of reading. Kaeion Black, running back, Indiana. Started off with, listen, now, first of all, everyone I'm talking about, every single one of their videos, they're all ranked. They're not ranked. They have a different ranking system, but they're all on my channel. Their videos, their 2024 videos, their 2025 videos, and their stats for 2025. Yet other people look at 3 games and give rankings. But all this is on my channel already. This is my draft rankings, which I started May the 5th of 2025. So Kaeion Black, originally was at JMU, then followed his coach to Indiana. 5'10", 215, north-south, puts his head down. He doesn't have a plan. He doesn't run out of bounds, puts his head down and runs you over or tries his best He's not a pass catcher. He had 186 attempts, 1,040 yards, 10 touchdowns. What I love about this kid, he played every single game of the regular season. He played every playoff game. He played the national championship game. And then he was at the Senior Bowl practicing. Then he played in the Senior Bowl. Bro, this kid is hungry. This kid runs the ball. He puts his head down like you owe him money. And he's the type of back where he's going to make you're going to know when you hit this kid because he's hungry. And I love that. He wasn't a kid that was put up on a pedestal in the 7th grade with 39 offers. And this kid, I got a big circle around him. Remember this name, Kejon Black, Indiana. All right, at 19, we got Kejon Owens, Florida International, because only I watch schools like that. 5'11", 215. He had 213 attempts for 1,350 yards, 11 touchdowns. He kind of has a little bit of an upright run style, but, the kid has jets. He can fly. There was a running back. I have a mental block with his name. He was back with he played for Buffalo, like kind of in the Willis McGahee era, but he was just like a rotational back. And I have a mental block with his name. He reminds me of his running style. It's kind of, some backs do it and it's a lot of the taller backs, but this kid's only 5'11", so you got to stay low. Next kid is no one's talking about him, and he comes out of the MAC from Toledo. Chip Trayanum, 5'11", 230. Tough runner. He had a little over 1,000 yards, 12 touchdowns in the MAC. Listen, my friends, the MAC plays Tuesday nights, Wednesday nights. What are you doing, bro? What are you doing on a Tuesday, Wednesday night that you can't watch football? Oh, but yet I was one of the guys calling Emmanuel McNeil Warren the safety. I was calling him a first-round pick back in what? September, October, and now automatically, he's a first-round pick. But I called it back then. But this kid is a tough runner. Chip Trayanum, running back, Toledo. All right. Now we're going to be going down to 17. Boom. This kid is a half a HBCU player because he started at HBCU and then he transferred to 1 year at Virginia. And his name is Jmarri Taylor. He started out at North Carolina Central. You know how I know that? Because I did a video on him last year when he was at North Carolina Central. Jumped in the portal. He's 5'9", 205. He went to Virginia. And when he was at Virginia, he had 222 rushing attempts, a little over 1,000 yards, little under 1,100 yards, 12 TDs. 14 TDs. But now in 2024, when he was at North Carolina Central, he went for 196 for like 1,200 and 15 TDs. So he went up in talent and still maintained his level of performance. And he's going to get drafted. That's why, there's guys saying, oh, this is a really bad running back draft. And am I saying it's the best running back draft ever? No. But I'm old school. I'm a old lineman, and I come from the theory of anyone can run to a hole, bro, if the hole's big enough. That's what she said. But didn't Patrick Mahomes win 3 Super Bowls with a round 7 running back who I was crazy high on, Isaiah Pacheco? Seattle just won a Super Bowl with 2 second-round running backs on their team, Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet. They were both second-rounders. And they allowed Kenneth Walker to go, and they will draft another one. Next, Curtis Allen, Virginia Union, HBCU. He had a decent season. This kid is 6'2", 220, with the body style to get bigger. Cowboys blog, boom. Thank you for jumping in the chat. When you see my last 5, please don't hate me. But Curtis Allen, Virginia Union, he rushed for 2,400 yards and 30 touchdowns. And this kid has the frame to get bigger. And he's my 16th ranked running back. At 15, we have a part-time running back, Noah Winningham out of Oregon. 5'10", 211, part-time, still in the Big Ten. He went for 129 for 830 yards, 6 TDs. He'll go. In this year's draft, he will get drafted. He's day 3. At 14, I got another Indiana running back. He was a Maryland transfer. Then he went to Indiana. Roman Hemby, same thing. Tough kid. 6 foot, 210. Not going to run out. He doesn't really, not a crazy pass catcher, but he's going to put his head down and, try to run through you. Tough kid. He went for 1,120 yards and 10 TDs. I think he's great day 3 value. A lot of these guys are. Next kid at 13, Cowboys Corner. He has a YouTube channel. He turned me on to this guy because I say this, it's too big. It's too big. And I don't know everybody. No one does. So he turned me on to this guy. Check out his channel. And this kid's name is Robert Henry Jr., and he plays for the University of Texas, UTSA, University of Texas, San Antonio. I think they're the Roadrunners. So this kid is 5'9", 205, Robert Henry Jr., fast, elusive, does have that second speed, which a lot of backs don't. And he went for 151, 1,050, and 8 TDs. And he's not really getting love at all. Next kid, I like it's a good story. Yo, man, like when kids are young, they make stupid mistakes. They got some off the field issues. This kid's going to slide because some off the field issues, next kid, but he redeemed himself. And bro, when kids are young, bro, half the times they don't even know what they're doing. But we're going to be talking about Seth McGowan, running back, Kentucky. He had some issues earlier on, turned it around, 6'1", 220, with the frame to get bigger, did not play on a great team, 165, 725 yards, 12 TDs. He's a great goal line back. But let's be honest, the NFL is a running back by committee league. It is, and the reason I'm against taking running backs so early, because especially they go to the worst teams. Did Bijan Robinson turn around Atlanta? No. Did Austin Gentry turn around the Raiders? No. The only thing Austin Gentry did was go like this and say, Geno, run, while Geno Smith got destroyed. And what did I say before the draft last year? Austin Gentry does a pass block. Well, he better learn if Fernando Mendoza, or his future is not going to be bright in the Raiders. You got to know you got to be able to not get your quarterback killed. Next kid, I don't understand what he should be higher. CJ Donaldson, 6'2", 240-pound running back. Started his career at West Virginia. He did okay. He had over 2,000 yards, 30 touchdowns. I had him last year. I was like, all right, he's going into the draft. No. Ohio State do a bag at him. He goes to Ohio State. They made him a goal line back. That's what he was. Goal line and short yardage only. That's it. Made him lose 20 pounds. I want him back at 240. So they made him lose 20 pounds and made him just a goal line, short line, and a goal line back and short yardage back. And he had 96 carries for 361 yards and 10 touchdowns. I want him back at 240 pounds. He looked anemic. He looked Ethiopian at 220. He looked so skinny. Do not ask me what Ohio State theory was with that one, but I'm going to give it a big on it. At 10 this is one of the gifts of this draft. And at 10, and I shouldn't even be putting him here, and that's going to be Oklahoma's Jaydn OTT. But I'm going to put an example of him after I get done with him. 2022, 2023, 2024, he went off. He had over 2,500 yards, 24 TDs, 90 balls, caught 90 balls for almost 1,000 yards and 6 touchdowns. Then he went to Oklahoma and did nothing for not 1, but 2 years. Not 1, 2 years. This past season, he had 66 yards, but now he should. So he's had all year to prepare for the Senior Bowl. Shows up to the Senior Bowl. He had 66 yards rushing this past season. Yeah, didn't play. Shows up at the Senior Bowl, and he looked good in pass coverage, blocking, the blitzing linebackers so your quarterback doesn't get killed. He looked good in the practice, and all of a sudden now everyone is talking about him like he's the Jaydn OTT of old. But now I'm going to compare him to last year. There was a kid, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. He only played 1 game for Arizona, and then he was ruled ineligible. So he had the whole year in 2024 to prepare for the Senior Bowl. Had no bruises, had no bumps where other guys did. He went to last year's Senior Bowl, balled out, and the Washington Redskins took him in round 4, and he had a decent season. So Jaydn OTT is either going to be the bust of busts, or I'm going to look great with this pick. But I think it's the other one. I just don't know. I just don't know what the excuse. You got to have you're thinking he's going to be a late day 3 pick, but you're a scout, you're a coach, you're going to be grilling this kid. It's when you see interviews for jobs and one guy's in there for 5 minutes and then there's the other guy that's in there for an hour. The dude that's in there for an hour getting grilled is no bueno, no good. You like my Spanish, right? I speak poquito. Now, number 9, Adam Randall, Clemson. Started his career as a wide receiver, 6'2", 230 pounds. So you can play games with this kid. You can line him up out wide and have a second running back lined up behind the quarterback, and yet you have 2 wide receivers on the field. You can do a lot with this kid. Like I said, 6'2", 230. This year, Clemson, besides their right tackle, their offensive line was Bazura. He had 168 attempts, 815 yards, 10 TDs. Now, here comes the 36 catches for 255 yards and three touchdowns. So the fact that I've said that when you could always do more than one thing for an NFL team, that's going to get you drafted. At number 8 is a kid I like a lot, Desmond Claiborne, Wake Forest. 5'9", 200 pounds. He rattled off 907 yards, 10 TDs, plays bigger, fast, quick. He's shifty. Listen, For everyone I've given you already, I don't consider none of them a bell cow 40 attempt guys yet. I don't. But we also accept Derrick Henry. Let's be honest. Saquon Barkley's on his way out. But besides Derrick Henry, who's a freak, who's the bell cow? It's a running back by committee league. That's why I personally see no reason on spending early picks on running backs. But I will draft one every draft. At number 7, we got a kid I like a lot too, Jonah Coleman. He's 5'9", 225-pound bowling ball, University of Washington in the Big Ten. He had 156 attempts, 760, 15 touchdowns, and then which is 31 catches, 360 yards, and 2 touchdowns. A lot of guys, some guys on this list, they're just straight runners. This kid is a bowling ball with hands. And you notice I said, this is Big Ten. Big Ten. At 6, and I feel this is one of the Christmas gifts. I feel even guilty putting this kid here, but hey, I don't have to play the bad guy every single day. I can play the nice guy too. And at number 6, we're going to be talking about Jadarinn Price, running back, Notre Dame. Now, he's 5'11", 210. He had 113 attempts for 674 yards and 11 touchdowns. He ain't going to give you much as a pass catcher. I just find it hard because this kid has never started a single game. And he piggybacked with Jeremiah Love, who's a top 3 back. So I've said this, for any position, you being the man from day one of spring ball, OTAs, fall camp, scrimmages, then the game, versus a guy getting nicked up and then you pop it in for 4 games, you're fresh, this, that, strong, you're lifting every week. It is a big difference from being the man. So think about it. The defenses were chasing around Jeremiah Love for 4 quarters, and whenever he came out, you had, okay, and then you get this kid. I think 6 is a gift for him. And can he be a bell cow back? I haven't seen it yet. But then, like I said earlier, he can fit into a rotation. In my world, rotational running backs are day 3 picks. That's me. At 5, Cowboys champ turned me on to this kid. Check out his channel. And this kid's name is Mike Washington Jr., University of Arkansas. Big kid, bro. 6'2", 225, has the frame to be bigger. Played on a horrendous, you like that, right? Horrendous Arkansas team this year. And he had 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns at 161 attempts. He was at a whole bunch of colleges before that, but that's pretty much the NCAA as football, at 4. And this kid could be higher, a lot higher. And his name is Emmet Johnson, running back, Nebraska. Now, I say the good, I say the bad. 1-year wonder, but it was one hell of a, so the ears come out when I see the 1-year wonder. 1-year wonder, but it was one hell of a year. Nebraska is in the Big Ten now. And Nebraska's quarterback was Bazora, but Nebraska's offensive coordinator, all he does is like to pass the ball. That's what he's known for at his spots. I'm not even going to say his name, but I've said it enough. But wherever he goes, all he does is look to throw the ball 50 yards, like air it out. And Emmet Johnson, he rushed for 1,500 yards with 12 touchdowns, and then he caught 46 passes for 370 yards and 3 TDs. I'll bet money there are NFL teams that have him as their number one rated running back. All right, now we're down to the top 3. Dun, dun, dun. This is where it gets interesting, but I got to be different. And I'm going to go with Jeremiah Love, running back Notre Dame, at 3. Listen, this kid has put on, in the past 2 seasons, he put up 2,500 yards rushing, 36 touchdowns, 0 fumbles in the last 2 years. And then he also produced 60 catches for 500 yards and 5 TDs. And plays bigger. I think that might hurt him, though, at the next level, because this kid, and it blows my mind, Michael, boom, thank you for jumping in the chat. He loves to try to hurdle people, this kid. You're going to get broken in 2 trying to hurdle people in the NFL. And I think his reluctance to run out of bounds might get him. But, he's a beast. He put up 2 solid years numbers. But you see, when I evaluate players all their years because I watch them all them years. I'm not one of those guys that watch 3 games and then give you a grade. And at number 2, I'm going to go with Nicholas Singleton, running back out of Penn State. 6 foot, 225, crazy elusive, runs bigger. There's scuttlebutt here about a bone or something at the Senior Bowl. I don't care because he's not going to go round 1. So any team that drafts him is going to have him for 4 years, and it's not a ligament. It's a bone that happened in February. He will be fine. So at Happy Valley, and like I said, I go by people's entire careers in college. At Happy Valley, 3,500 yards, 45 touchdowns, and then he had 1,000 yards receiving and 9 touchdowns. And he's a very, how can I phrase this? Underrated bruiser running the ball. He's elusive and a bruiser, which is very, very rare. Now, my number 1 running back is a bruiser. And his name, I'm going to get to this, though, too. His name is Kejon Allen, Penn State. Am I a Penn State fan? No, I'm not. I'm a U fan. I'm a Miami Dolphin fan. But Mark Fletcher decided to stay in for another year. I get it. Stay in for another year, get a bag. But Miami's going to have a brand new offensive line next year. So we'll see how that works out. But I'm sure they threw a mill at him, but whatever. So Kejon Allen, he's 5'11", 235. I don't care what these kids weigh in on their the pro days. I don't care what they weigh in on their combines. I've seen them when they're playing. I can pretty good judge of size and weight. This kid, 5'11", 235, he ain't going to get you anything catching the ball out of the backfield. He's just going to do is he's going to put his head down and run your ass over. Now, in his career at Penn State, 4,200 yards with 44 touchdowns. Now, this is there's a method to my madness. So we got Kejon Allen, 4,200 yards, 44 touchdowns. Then we got Nicholas Singleton, 3,500 yards and 45 touchdowns. Those are rushing. And Penn State has had 0.0 of a deep passing game for their careers. The only person the opposing defense had to worry about was Tyler Warren, tight end, who went to the Colts last year. And he was my number one tight end. And he should have went, but Chicago, whatever. Half the teams getting drafted. But Chicago still did decent with Loveland. So what I'm trying to say these two kids put up crazy numbers in the Big Ten with opposing defenses not having to worry about zero threat of a deep passing attack. Wide receivers transferred out of Penn State. And they're playing in the NFL because of Drew Aller. Drew Aller's deep ball is horrendous. That was one of the reasons, too, that Tyler Warren was their wide receiver threat, and he was a tight end. So now, could Drew Aller have gotten better with his deep ball? Yeah, but I don't think so. So listen, these are my top 20 running backs. I got to be different. Got to be me. Boom or bust, but you see, but also too, like, running backs are subjective because, like, okay, Jeremiah Love could be the best running back on this board, but let's just say hypothetically, he goes to the Jets, first pick overall. He's going to get destroyed, and it's not his fault. I can put my glasses back on. So now he can go to the Jets, and he'll get destroyed. And then everybody would be like, oh, he sucks, this and that. And then let's just say a Mike Washington, an Emmet Johnson, a Nicholas Singleton, a Kejon Allen. They go to a team later on, and they're great running backs. But now this team has bruises up front and the offensive line. And these kids are going to look like stars. So it's tough with the running back class to say, oh, that guy's bad, that guy's good. But like I said, I'm sorry, I'm old school. It starts and it ends up front. I think with Kansas City signing Kenneth Walker, the running back from Seattle, which I don't know why they did, that pretty much, I think, puts the stick in the fork of Jeremiah Love going to Kansas City at 9, I believe. So who knows how far he can fall, but I think a lot of the NFL is learning that it's a running back by committee league, and you're not giving these running backs a second contract. Seattle didn't give Kenneth Walker a second contract. They won a Super Bowl. They said, bye. We got Zach Charbonnet still for one more year. They'll draft a monster running back if they don't draft two. So, listen, hope you like it. I'll be coming out with another 10 to 15 more running backs. Mañana is going to be probably offensive tackles. So I got like 30 tackles, 20 guards, about 10 centers. I just don't want the videos to go that long, so I'm just going to break them down. So I'll probably do the tackles mañana. Because we all know when you're rocking with the GWO, over and out. Cowboys blog, boom. Thank you for jumping in the chat. Michael, boom. Thank you so much for jumping in the chat.